Hello friends, so after 2 days break we are back again and to continue with the topic resources. We talked about different types of resources and different categories, and among all the resources the most important thing or the important resource is human resources. So that is our topic today, the human resources. So let us go in detail to see what is exactly human resources are, or why do we say human resources are the most important, and so on. You can take your textbook, page number 4. So we say people are the best resources because people can make the best use of the nature to create more resources, especially when people have got knowledge, skill and good technology to do. So there are so many things we will find in the nature. For example, the trees are there. So the tree is standing there, and if human beings are not doing anything, that tree will continue to remain there, and after many years it will just die off. But if human being who has got certain knowledge, skill, idea and the technology, then that person can make use of that tree. He can cut that tree, he can split into planks, split into pieces, or he can make lot of furnitures. So that shows the human resource. So now a tree that was standing there, finally it has become a good furniture, maybe a good table, or maybe an alamara, maybe a bed. So it has become that thing, a very useful resource it has become. So who is working behind that is the human being. If human beings were not there, we could have never expected a tree to turn into a beautiful table or a beautiful chair and so on. So that's why we say human beings are the best resources, provided he has got the knowledge, he has got the skill and the technology. Suppose a person who has no idea at all, who has never gone to school, who has never knows any idea about carpentry and so on. That person, if he gets a wood or tree, it is no use in his hand. It will be like a garland in the hand of a monkey. It's not. So when we say human beings are the best resources, we mean human beings who are educated, human beings who have got good health, human beings who have got good skill and who knows how to use the technology. So if a person has got all these things, then we can say he is the best resource. So an illiterate person, a sickly person, a skillless person, all that maybe may not be the best resource, but a person who has got skill, knowledge and the know-how of the technology, that is very important. So that's why we say human beings are a special resource. So because of these abilities of human beings, we say human beings are the best resources. And education and help making people a valuable resource. So two things that make a person a valuable resource is education and health. So education and health, these two make a person a valuable resource. So a person without education and health, he may be very highly educated, but if he is always sickly, then he cannot do much work. So both education and skill are needed. When we say education, so many things are included there. A person who has got proper education, we take for granted he has got certain skill, has got certain ideas, and so on. The know-how, how to use the technology, all that he should have. All that is implied in the education. Then, improving the quality of people's skills so that they are able to create more resources is known as human resource development. So we said an educated person and illiterate person, they are not equal. An educated person and a person with good health, they are a very good human resource. So a sickly person and an uneducated person, they are not so good resource. So in order to convert those people who are uneducated, those people who are sick, convert them into a good human resource, what we need to do? We need to give them education. We need to give them education and we need to give them good health. If they are sickly, then we must take care of their health, must provide them medicine, treatment, give them good food so that they can have good health. So these two things are needed. And that process of providing education and skill and good health to the human beings, that is called human resource development. Developing human resource. So that is meaning human resource development. I hope you understood. So people who are not educated, we need to provide them education. People who have no good health, we need to provide them medicine and we need to give them good food and they will have good health. So converting human beings who are not so good resource into people who are good resource, that is called human resource development. That means the people who are not educated, people who are not good health, their resources are very low. They are not very high resource. But we can develop them by giving them education. We can develop them by giving them medicine for their sickness, giving them good food and making them healthy again. And that process is called human resource development. You can underline in your textbook also what is human resource development. Then you can see in your that small box is in the last class also we were just mentioning about it. We shall see once again. Do you know human resource? So human resource refers to quantity and abilities of the people. So when we say human resource development, we expect the number, the quantity. More educated people are there, means so much good. Then the mental and the physical abilities. You should have very sharp intelligence. No? You should be very intelligent. If he is a very dull fellow, he is not able to think properly, his brain is not properly developed, then that is no use. So he should have mental health and physical health. So he should be strong in his body and he is strong in his mind. So he should be able to deal with it, everything. Suppose some tension comes and he does not know what to do, he starts shivering, and then he has no mental strength. So a person who has got mental strength, he will be able to face the situation. He will be able to find out solutions. If some problem is coming, he will think, how can I solve this problem? Instead of sitting there and shivering or crying, he will think about how to solve that problem and he will find out a solution. So that is the advantage of human resource. People who are able to have strong physical and mental health. So, though there are differing views regarding treatment of humans as a resource, so many people have got different ideas how to consider human beings as a resource. So, one cannot deny the fact that it is a skill of the human being that help in transferring physical material into valuable resource. So many people say different things about human beings. Many people say this is not important resource. Some people say it cannot be called a resource and so on. But whatever maybe the people say, we realized that the physical material is transferred into valuable resource. That is because of human being. I said the example of tree being transferred into a table or a furniture. That is because of human being. So whatever maybe people say, but we cannot deny the fact that all the material things are transferred into something else, into a valuable resource, then it is because of the human beings. For example, again the tree. If the tree continues to stand there, it is not a very valuable resource for us. Of course, it will create pure air, help to clean up the environment and so on. That way it is a resource. But it is converted into a beautiful piece of furniture. Then human being is working behind that and he can take the credit of that. So if human beings are not there, then that resource will continue to remain in that same way. That material thing will continue to remain in the same way. There cannot be any improvement. But because of human beings, we can have that change. So there is a picture form of explanation is given there. Try to read what it is. So one person is reading a book and said, crops ruin due to drought. Can I find a solution? So there happened a very severe drought. Drought means very dry season, no rain at all. And if there is no rain, we know our crops will fail. The paddy eventually will get destroyed. So this person says, there is a severe drought, the crops are getting spoiled, can I do something? And he is searching the book to find out what solution, and he found there is a solution. So it is all thanks to the knowledge, education and skill we could find a solution. So they found a solution because that person was an educated person, he had the skill, he had the knowledge, therefore he could find out a solution for defeating or overcoming the drought. Maybe they made a dam and brought the water through the canals and did the irrigation, or maybe they dug a tube well and pumped out water from the tube well and irrigated the field. So whatever they might have done according to the possible situation there, it is because of their knowledge, skill and so on. So humans are interdependent on each other. So we can say human beings are interdependent. So we cannot just say, I am an officer, I don't need the help of anybody, I can manage. So if you say that way, you should say that officer is a very foolish officer, because he cannot depend only on himself. So in the office he may be a big officer, he may be getting a very big salary, he may have a very big vehicle and so on, but he should remember he is depending on another human being. For example, if he is using a vehicle is made by somebody else. So he cannot say, I don't depend on anyone. So vehicle is made by someone else. The office that he is working belongs to someone else. The food that he is eating is made by someone else. So human beings are interdependent. One is depending on another person. No one can say, I am self-sufficient, I will manage by myself. So everything that we need, we don't have. The dress that we are wearing is made by someone else. So we are using it, the work, hard work, the result of others' hard work. Therefore, we cannot say we are independent. We are interdependent. Then, farmers provide food grains for everyone. So it is the farmers in our country who is working hard in their field and providing food for all the people of the country. Then scientists suggest various means to combat problems related to agriculture and improve farm production. And again, farmers cannot say we are producing grain for everyone in the country and therefore we don't need anybody's help. So these farmers also sometimes they don't know what to do. For example, there may be some pests coming and destroying their crops, so they need to sprinkle pesticide. And so who is finding out this pesticide? Who is inventing this pesticide? It is scientists. Or the fertilizers. It is made by someone else. So farmers cannot say we will manage on our own. They need the help of others. That's why we said the human beings are interdependent. We cannot just manage on our own. We need the help of others. We are completely or totally depending on others. Otherwise, we cannot just survive. So we need the help of others, and that will help us to depend on each other, respect each other, and so on. So that is very important. I hope you understood. Now, we said the resources are so important, and especially the natural resources. So, if they are so important, what are we to do? If human nature or the natural resources are important, we need to do conserving them. Need to do conserving. Conserving means preserving. We need to preserve the natural resources. Let us see how to do that preservation. What can we do in order to preserve that natural resources that are around us? So in the beginning of this lesson, we were talking about two stories like Mona and Raju. So they were asking to their mother about resources, and the mother was clarifying their doubts and so on. So we are still studying this lesson as a conversation with mother and the children. So children are asking some questions and mother is explaining. That is how we have been proceeding to explain this lesson, and still we are dealing with them. So that little girl Mona, one night she had a very terrible dream. She had a very terrible dream. I hope you all get sometimes dream. Sometimes the dreams are disturbing, sometimes it is very pleasant and so on. So for this little girl, she had a dream, and it was a very terrific dream. So in her dream she saw that there is complete dry. The earth is becoming dry, and there is no water at all. In her dream she saw there is no water at all. The earth is becoming drier and drier. And she found that all the trees are being cut down. So if the trees are cut down means the heat will increase and the earth will become more and more dry. There will be no shade, there will be no fresh air, and it will be very terrible situation. So that is what she was dreaming in her sleep, that the earth is becoming very dry and there is no water sources at all. All the trees are being cut down and so on. So she was really frightened, and she saw all the people are suffering. If the temperature is very high, if there is no water source at all, the earth becomes so dry, and the people are all suffering from the heat of the sun. They do not know what to do, they don't know where to go and so on. And they are desperately looking for food and shade. So if the earth is very dry, we cannot have any food cultivated there. So people are searching for food to survive, and they are searching for a shade. All the trees are cut down and there is no shade at all. They are all searching to sit under some trees. So that was a dream. So it was a very terrific dream. And morning when she got up, she went to her mother and told, "Mother, I had this dream that I saw in my dream. The earth is becoming drier and drier, and all the trees are cut down, and all the people are suffering. They are looking for food, they are looking for shade under the tree, but they cannot find." So when she explained that, the mother said, "It is going to happen surely if we are not careful." So if human beings are not careful, then what you saw in your dream is going to really happen, is really going to take place. So because mother said, if we are going to cut down all the trees, naturally after some time there will be no trees, or the deforestation will take place. And if you are not taking care of our water sources, if you are not taking care of our soil, then the earth will become drier and drier, and that will be very a serious thing in the future. So what you saw in the dream, it can't happen, it can't take place if we are not taking care, if we are not very careful. That is what mother told her. And so the children understood, if these things are going to happen in the future, no one else will be responsible, only the human beings will be responsible. And so they realize, and so they have to take some resolution on our part. What are we going to do to preserve this nature, to protect this nature? We cannot just say, I am a small child, what can I do? But even if we are not going to do great things, we can plant some small trees, we can decide not to waste water, or we can switch off the electricity, lights and other instruments when we are not using them. So small things we can do, and it will do great good to the nature, and we are becoming part of that team which is conserving the nature. So as a student, I hope you all will have your own ideas, or you might have seen how people are misusing the nature, how people are misusing the natural resources. Even if they don't want water, we can see they are simply making the water to flow out through the tap and so on. Or even if they don't need light, we can see they are putting on the light, TV or other things. Or we can see they are simply destroying the tree. It may not be useful for them, but they are simply just cutting down for their sake, for their fun. So all these things we can keep avoiding, and people who are not aware about it, that their deeds are destroying the nature, it is your duty to make them realize, because you are already educated, you are already aware about the problems that is caused to the nature by human beings. So it is your duty to explain to others, people who have no knowledge, no skill, no idea. You need to tell them the impact of destroying the nature, and that way slowly make them also part of the team to conserve the nature. So for today we shall wind up, and the next class will continue again to see what can we do more in order to conserve the nature and how to protect our Mother Earth. So thank you for listening. Have a nice day.